It has been a while since the last time I spoke about Andre Williams. The last time I spoke about him, it was a series of TikTok videos that he posted up on his TikTok that I don't think he has anymore, because he kept getting banned off of it because people kept reporting it, and for good reason, because all he did on there was talk down and bad about black people. Like, literally, that's all he ever does. So as you can see, this is a screenshot from his Twitter account that he created back in 2023 that I guess he abandoned and decided he was going to take his grift over to TikTok, but he kept getting kicked off of there, and he finally gave up and came back to Twitter to do the same exact thing that he was doing over on TikTok. But I want to go over and examine this whole screenshot. Let's start at the top. This is a picture of the Simpsons characters right there, characters from the Simpsons, and it looks like they're on a boat, but there's two monkeys that are very dark in color, one dark blue and one dark brown, and we already know what that's supposed to represent, and we already see what the imagery is. It looks like they're supposed to be getting engaged into some kind of altercation, and you have the white characters who they're supposed to be represented by from the Simpsons cheering it on. That already tells you right off the bat the type of person Andre Williams is. And a lot of people don't think that Andre Williams is real. I have clips to show you. This dude is very, very real, unfortunately. But let's look at what his bio says. Most banned black on TikTok. He's from Detroit, former U.S. Army, 82nd ABN, critical of black people and black culture. I want y'all to hang on to that as I insert these clips here of him just saying, having nothing but messed up things to say about black people, like all day, every single day. And mind you, he only has 3,446 followers at the time of me recording this video. He's trying to get his numbers up, and he feels that this is the best way to go about it.
Per capita, black people commit more crime. We kill and steal from everyone else in the country, and even ourselves, more than anyone else in the country. It's because black people have a shitty and toxic culture. We glorify violence, we glorify everything negative against our own people. And we defend this shitty culture aggressively. We will criticize and call out anyone who criticizes black people and how problematic we are.
This racist white man said this in a black barbershop.
You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guns. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion, and I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism.
Steven Crowder is right. White guilt is dying, and black fatigue is growing. Black people are the only people in America that fail to take any responsibility for our own actions. And everyone is tired of it, not just white people, other minorities as well. White people have given everything to black people, and black people love to spit right back in the face of white people, and they're getting fucking tired of it. This is how you can tell these men have been raised by nothing but single mothers. They take no responsibility, and they're bitching and moaning about everything. Nothing but excuses coming out of grown-ass men. This is why I consider Black Gen X to be the worst generation. Niggeresses like this need to be pushed out the fucking plane.
Hey, y'all moving. She won't let us get by, man. What is wrong with you? I would hate to be your daughter and have to go home with you. No wonder she's back. Grab our suitcase, please.
Wait inside.
You know what? You want to you need to be real careful, because I haven't said anything to you. I haven't said anything to you all. Don't say anything to me. They won't let my daughter pass, and I need, I'm not getting my
Miss Abrams' tank is blocking the aisle, waiting for her daughter to come up from the back of the plane so they can leave together. You see how fucking entitled niggas are? Especially black women being this entitled. I think this video is extremely poetic. It really highlights the race relations in the United States today. Black people are holding up the line of progress for their own selfish needs, while everyone else sits back and has to suffer and wait on black people to perform and be productive. I don't even think Van Gogh himself could paint something so beautiful. There should have been a black man on that plane that told her to shut the fuck up and pushed her ass. Actually, what would have been better if they called the Burger King guy to get her ass off the plane. That would have been a grand show. This is nigga culture.
So look, this is the biggest clock in there, and that'll be glow, you know what I'm saying? Look, I caught one of them. Yeah, clear to the end. Out there, we 2 times. Hey, Matter caught us 1 time, we tried to record it. They wouldn't let us record it.
I don't even know what fucking language this is in. I think I would understand more in 15 minutes of watching Telemundo than I would 5 seconds of watching this shit. This is how black men act today. This niggerish gibberish that we sit back and promote and we glorify. Nobody can understand what you're saying. You're dressed all flashy like a fucking peacock. You look like a child. You talk like a child, you act like a child. This is why no one takes black men, especially black people, seriously. This is why racial profiling and discrimination isn't really a bad thing. You see people like this, treat them like they're less than. Don't give them any kind of respect. Discriminate, profile them, make them feel like shit because we're tired of being represented by these people.
We don't have a crime problem. We have a race problem and a nigga problem. A 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee was stabbed to death by a nigga whose name I won't even say. And I think he deserves a lesser title than nigga. I think calling him a nigga is too disrespectful to the word nigga. This is a prime example for why people don't like being around niggas and are skeptical anytime they're around black people. We are the main reason for why people in this country don't like black people. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm not a fan of the Ukrainian refugees being here. However, the fact that a Ukrainian refugee escapes a war-torn country, where a country being bombed, her countrymen being killed, they come over here to the United States where she thinks it's safe, gets fucking killed by some nigga on a train. This is what makes people racist. This is what makes people biased. This is what makes people have prejudice towards black people. It's behavior like this that we don't call out, that we don't police, and we don't get these fucking people off the street. Black fatigue is increasing significantly. And I'm telling you this, when people bounce back, everyone in this country, it's not going to be nice for us as black people. Little nigresses like this are a problem.
I don't know what you're getting that for. I'm not buying those.
I get what I want.
Journey, you know they say you can't get all that with food stamps no more.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I can't get that with food stamps no more.
I'm going to use it with your credit card.
No, you're not.
You see these nails? 150. Bought it off of your
And
credit
what's that
card.
supposed to mean?
This hairstyle, $350. Guess what?
You better
Bought it
not
off
gonna
your
use my
credit
credit card.
Typical angry, aggressive little niggers. An attitude, rude, disrespectful. What do you think she's going to turn into in about 10 years? A mother, a parent, raising children that are going to be the same way that she is now. And of course, she's with her grandmother. Not a man in sight, not a grandfather in sight, not a father in sight. This is the type of people we're raising in our community. We don't discipline our kids. We don't sit back and set any kind of structure, any respect for authority in our community. And this is why we have this problem. A father, or at least a decent woman of some respect, would not have tolerated this kind of disrespect in front of her grandmother. Slavery was better for black people. Why? Because black people today are in a far worse form of slavery. Black people have enslaved themselves to this mentality of being a victim. We've put up invisible barriers for ourselves. We've told ourselves that we can't do something because someone else is barring us from going forward. When every problem, every issue that we have is solely on us. During slavery, the family was whole, people were united, black lives actually mattered, we cared about their value and existence. Today, we don't. The family is dysfunctional, the father is absent, the mother is reckless, the children are violent, the communities are violent. The identity and culture of black people is superficial, it's fake. Black people during the years of slavery and Jim Crow were optimistic that they would overcome these challenges. They knew they had something to prove, not to other people, but to themselves that they could do something. Today, black people aren't determined to do shit. We impress nobody, not even ourselves. We're selfish, we're entitled, we're backwards, we're violent, indolent, and reckless. I'd rather admit that because knowing the history, knowing where we came, how far we've come, and looking at today is a fucking sad shame. Slavery was horrible, a horrible practice that is still practiced in the world today. I hope that black people never go back to it. But when you compare slavery to today, what we're dealing with now, slavery was far better. Can we stop comparing George Floyd and Charlie Kirk? George Floyd was a piece of shit that offered absolutely nothing for black people, this country, or anyone. Charlie Kirk was a civil rights leader. He inspired millions of young Americans to get more involved in politics. He believed in God, his country, and took care of his family, and inspired millions of people. George Floyd inspired riots and fentanyl addicts. That's it. He was a Nazi. He was a racist. He was a white supremacist. Charlie Kirk was a terrible person. All these things are being said about a man who loved his country, loved his family, and loved God. Although he was naive, thinking that the people that hate you will be willing to have a conversation with you, Charlie Kirk didn't care. He did it anyway. He still believed that a dialogue needed to happen in this country. But unfortunately, when people dehumanize you, they call you a Nazi, they call you a fascist, they sit back and spill all this hatred about you, these lies about you, there's no conversation to begin with. Killing him ended the conversation. The person that killed him and the people celebrating think that they can silence us, that they could put fear into our minds, that we won't speak the truth, that we won't continue to speak up on what we believe in. But they're wrongly mistaken. This empowers people like myself and I hope millions of other people to speak up even more. This is only the beginning of more truth tellers, more empowered people who are unafraid, people who will stand up for what is right, what they know to be true, and what they believe to be. I'm surrounded. I'm in the enemy's lair. All you black bitches spend all this money on this hair. It's crazy shit. You spend all this money on this fake hair and you still look like a clown.
I don't even want to hear that. I don't even want to participate. Don't even put that on me. Ancestors, get that energy off of me. Please wipe it off me. God! I don't even want that energy on me. Don't put that on me. I don't want to be a part of that prayer chain. Hell to the nah.
So you just got a preview right there, and I'm sorry for making it as long as it is, but those were just clips that I got off of his page, and most of them were recent. Like I tried not to go too far back. I think the furthest one back, I think was back in September when it was talking about Charlie Kirk, but there are ones that go back even further than that, like over the summer and probably even beyond. But you're getting an idea of who Andre Williams is, another Williams, just like Terrence K. Williams, him over there. I haven't talked about him in a while, but maybe that's for a good reason. But that's basically what he does all day. There are times when he talks about other people, but really for the most part, 99.9% of the time, he's throwing black people under the bus, much like what you saw in this video. Now, notice what he also tried to do. He threw in clips, of the belligerent, little girl inside of the store, the black woman on the plane, black men, in the stereotypical way that he can to try to push a narrative. But what really stuck out to me, especially when it came to the black girl and the black woman on the plane, is what he called them. I don't even want to repeat what he said, but you heard what he said in the video. Like, he basically is talking almost as if he is a white supremacist himself. I have told people, you do not have to be white to be a white supremacist. When in his case, he's not supreme over anything. He thinks he is. I don't know what he looks at every day when he looks at himself in the mirror, besides probably that messed up hairline. But like, literally, like, just listen to his tone and how he talks. Like, he talks as if he is in utter contempt of black people, or he thinks he's special or somehow unique. So much, in fact, that he seemed to be so proud when Tristan Tate acknowledged him. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Tristan Tate is, he is the brother to Andrew Tate. Yes, that Andrew Tate. He got wind of Andre Williams' post over the time, and as you can see, this was posted on October the 5th, so this was a couple weeks ago, so this is still very recent. Mind you, I put up videos that date back to September, but I've seen videos on his page that date back to July. So that means he has been watched for quite some time. If Tristan Tate acknowledged him, Tristan said, "Black America needs more people like Andre Williams. Small account, I know, but check his page out." So he's giving him an endorsement. Now look at all the stuff that I posted up there video wise as it pertains to what Andre Williams is all about. Because he sits up there and throws black people under the bus all day, every day, he gets an endorsement from Tristan Tate, who, by the way, is biracial himself. But him and his brother have an immense amount of self-hate issues, so that's kind of par for the course. And the fact that he's giving him an endorsement means that Tristan feels the same exact way as Andre Williams does. But it goes on to say, this guy lives in the masculine frame of total self-accountability, avoids blaming others, and calls out nonsense when he sees it. I'm stuck on the part where he said that this man lives in the masculine frame. I don't know any woman who is looking for a man or has a man that's going to say that this man exudes masculinity in any capacity. Then he said, young black men follow this man and take note. So we could all act like this. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I be saying about how bad these tap dancers are, because look at who they get endorsed by. This is what they want all black men. And I'm talking about black men because this is a black man I'm talking about. They want all of us to be like an Andre Williams. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen with me. It is no way I could live with myself and wake up every day with breath in my body and air in my lungs and have the mindset of this buffoon that unfortunately y'all had the displeasure of having to look and listen to for nearly 10 minutes. But this right here, this endorsement what Tristan Tate gave of him, which didn't really work that well because it didn't really boost his followers that much. This is what they all want us to aspire to be. Notice he said, young black men, take note. This is what I want you to be. This is the type of black man they want us to be, and have the nerve to say that that's masculine. Excuse me? And of course, he got wind of it and he reposted it. And by the way, he was the only one that reposted it. He said much love and respect and put 2 100 emojis. And it goes on from there. Now, y'all saw the videos. I'm not even going to boggle y'all down with the tweets as far as text goes, because those are even worse. But I'm not putting those up there because they're so long and lengthy because he has this blue check. But there was one post, I'm not going to put it up here, where he tried to go at Tariq because of something he said in pertaining to Charlie Kirk, and then he wrote something underneath it and he got cooked underneath it. So Yeah, he's trying to build his clout up, and the way that the way he's going about it is like all how these other grifters do it, and that's by throwing black people under that bus and talking down on us every chance they get, and completely ducking and dodging what everybody else is doing, but you want to focus in on us so you could try to get your numbers up. This guy is not about holding black people accountable. I've done a deep dive on this because I said accountable to whom. He's not about improving the community. I highly doubt he probably lives around a lot of black people, like most of them typically don't. And so I can go on and on. He's just online like the rest of them with a blue check, trying to get his 20 pieces of silver just like all the rest of them. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.
But wait, there's more.
Well, this took a very interesting turn, and if I wasn't on YouTube and came across a video literally a few minutes ago, I would have not even known this happened. So that right there was Andre Williams getting them paws put on him and literally tossed and rolled. I mean, literally, you saw it in the video. He got thrown to the ground like a rag doll, and he rolled over like he was tumbling because he went to the No Kings protest. And of course, you know, he was out there antagonizing people, and that's the result of what ended up happening. And you know, he was doing whatever it was he was doing. And it's crazy because remember what I was going over in the previous part of the video, which the initial part is him always going after black people. Like he always says, I'm going after black culture. I'm going after black culture. I'm a critic, or I'm critiquing black culture, which we all know that's not what he's actually doing. He's basically gaslighting and antagonizing black people. But if you saw out there, it was majority white people. As a matter of fact, the people that put their hands on him for the most part were white people. The one that threw him to the ground and caused him to roll the way that he did was another white guy who did this. So as you can see right here in this picture, these two screenshots, he was the one that ended up getting arrested. He got apprehended. I think he ended up, of course, getting a mugshot. I couldn't find the mugshot. He actually had to spend like a night in jail, or he had to spend a little bit of time in jail, probably not a long time, clearly, because this happened over the weekend. And yeah, karma. I keep telling people the same people whose butts they kiss all the time are going to be the one they divvy out all the time. And like someone else said, when they saw this, he's going to get on social media, he's going to air out his grievances, he's going to go into victimhood and all this, that, and the third. Is wash, rinse, repeat. As a matter of fact, let me show you the tweet that he literally just posted up right as I was getting ready to record this part of the video. He said, I'm free from jail, proud of all I did this weekend, more to come soon. So you're proud that you went out there and you antagonized a bunch of people who were just doing their thing and minding their business because of whatever agenda you had, and because you got pretty much pushed out of there and basically was tumbled on out of there and then got arrested. You're proud of that? Wow, these individuals is something seriously wrong with them. But you know what? I feel nothing for him. You know, I'm happy that this actually indeed happened. Let this be a lesson to all those tap dancers out there that think they're going to go out there and just do whatever they want because they feel like they feel like they've arrived and they're gotten too comfortable. This will happen to you as well if y'all are not careful. Everyone's not with your BS. And we all know for the most part that a lot of the people that was at that No Kings protest, we know most of them most likely lean politically to the left. And a lot of them love to say that people who are liberal are weak, or they love to say the left is so violent and everything like that. Well, when you give anyone, it doesn't matter what political side you are, you don't even have to be political. You push them hard enough, They're going to push back. And he thought he was one person. You saw how he was trying to buck back. I'm like, dude, you're one person versus how many people was out there going at you in the way that you were. Like, and when I was reading through some of the comments, they said he came there with the intent to antagonize, which I highly believe. And that's what led to this, because everything was going right. Like they said, it was peaceful. There was no problems. But then you come there and then you do what you do. And I believe it because look at the stuff that he puts out there on social media about black people, which I find interesting because he says all this stuff about black people, but he doesn't go and get into black spaces with his rhetoric. You go around a bunch of white people and think they're not, that you got it comfortable even over there with them, with people that you claim to not like politically, but because they're white, you felt comfortable to go do what you did, and look at what they did to you. I feel nothing for this clown. Let this again be a lesson for him. Let it be a wake-up call. But something tells me he's going to use it. He's going to try to capitalize on it, and he's going to try to spin it any way that he can.
But wait, there's more.
This just keeps getting even more interesting. Here I am thinking that I'm done with this video, and then this pops up. And we kind of figured that he was going to go into trying to do the victim narrative. We kind of already predicted that was going to happen. So look at this post this lengthy post that he made right here. He said, the left and Antifa assaulted me at the No Kings protest in Detroit. I was released from jail this Sunday afternoon. He said, I showed up to challenge them and show this city has people who will speak out and counter their radical and anti-American message. Left sat there and called me a house and said that I was a race traitor for opposing mass migration into the United States. Now, mind you, because I think there was a video attached to that where he actually is talking visually with this. And he mentioned how when he was called that, he was called that by quote unquote white liberals were calling him that. He said, the radical left is spreading lies saying that I assaulted people, with many of them doing everything they could to trip me, block my path, take my megaphone, and then shove me to the ground as I went to stand against them. When the right goes out to protest, we are attacked, demonized, and the police are called more often. When the left protests, they act violently and radically, opposing anyone who tries to counter them. They are cheered and revered as heroes. I will not back down now, and I will not retreat. I encourage every American who is for the betterment of our nation to stand firm and organize in a disciplined manner against these people. Do not let them silence your voice. The visible and be visible and be heard. So he said all of that, and people was like, okay, of course, he has some of his people in there caring for him and whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, who really cares at the end of the day about him? We've seen his profile, so we know what type of time he's on. But he didn't stop there. Now, I think he made this post on the 19th, but he also came back and made another post on the 20th. I'm telling you, he's about to milk this thing, because of course he had to find a way to rope black people into it. He said, I guess black lives don't matter to black people unless you have the same beliefs as them. Black people are supporting white liberals who assaulted me because I criticized the black community's destructive and dysfunctional culture and opposed mass migration into the United States. Again, that's why I showed y'all at the beginning his narrative, like his rhetoric, what he was about, because a lot of people don't know who he is. Many black people don't know who he is. He's gone off of based off maybe what one person did in the video. And by the way, I have to make a minor correction. I think in that part where he ends up getting pushed, I think that was a black guy that did it, because notice how he got back up and got quickly in that black guy's face. He didn't get buck wild in a white guy's face, and it was way more white people out there. But the minute he saw that black guy put hands on him, oh, then that's when he wanted to like get in his face. But the white people, he just left, or he just allowed himself to be escorted off. He said they're cheering for the cops who arrested me after I was practicing my First Amendment right that I served this country to defend. So now in this post, in the last post, he was going after the quote unquote left and the liberals, basically the white liberals. That's what he was going after. But in this post, he said, you know what? I'm not letting black people off the hook. So I'm going to go after them too, even though it was probably like one, maybe two at most black people that we saw visibly in that video. Everyone else was pretty much white or some other non-white, non-black person. But he had to make an indictment because he had to remember that, yes, I can go after white liberals, but I have to remember my mission and what my bio says, and that is me being a critic or critiquing the dysfunction and the destruction of black culture. I mean, this is what it is right here. And he did all of this for the last couple of days and still did not get the huge following that he probably thought he was going to receive. And let me just preface this. The picture that's on the left, that was from the first part of the video that I recorded on the 12th, where he only had 3,446 followers and was following 95 people. The one that's on the right is the screenshot that I literally just got like about 5 minutes ago, where he has 3,883 followers and 96. Now he's just following one extra person. And this is literally after the events of what occurred. So even with all the stuff that happened to him and all the sympathy he's thinking he's going to garner, all he got was a whopping, what, 400, a little over 400 followers from this. He couldn't even crack 3,900, let alone 4,000. I'm telling you, he's going to try to ride this grift until he can't do it anymore. He's going to go right back to his default settings. He's going to go right back to talking about black people because he said that's what he's going to do. He said he's going to continue to go and crash these he might as well go and said that I'm going to go continue to crash these protests and do what I do. But the thing is, now people know who you are, so they're going to know what to expect from you. But again, that's all he's going to do. He's going to go and continue to do that. He's going to put himself in a dangerous situation, probably even more than what he was in there. But he's welcoming it because now he can just go out there, antagonize people, say this and that, get online, say that he was victimized, gain followers, and then do it again. Now this is his new grift. So I expect, I pretty much am almost guaranteeing that that's what he's going to do, continue to do, go for, because he really has nothing else going for him. And that's very sad and pathetic. But at the end of the day, just like what happened with him just now initially, if that happens again, we'll be back with another Triple P.